This is our driver information center right in the center. This is usually where most people leave it. You're going to get a digital readout of your speed, even though you do have your numerical speedometer over here. Down here is going to be what gear you're in, and your odometer, and your compass is in the right hand corner. Now over here on the center dash you have your menu buttons. We're on this menu, so we're just going to go through what we have here. You come up, you got navigation. And that doesn't mean you have navigation per se. What that is you'll get a readout from your OnStar. And we've talked about OnStar a little bit. You also have directions and connections. Anytime going down the road, you can push the blue button in the center, and when they come back to you, you tell them an address and they will download a route to you. Now you can either see your arrow in your next road here, or it's also going to show up over here on your main screen. Now they'll also give you those turn-by-turn directions audioly too, so you're going to get them both ways. We go up and you got a trip timer if you want to time a particular trip. The average vehicle speed that this vehicle has been driven. A lot of people like to know what their average speed was on a particular trip. That's what that's for. Instantaneous fuel economy. You can leave it there and drive different ways and find out how your mileage goes up and down and what will work best for you. Average fuel economy. This will keep track of your average fuel economy over time. So if you just leave it alone, you'll know what it is over time, and then your fuel range will work for you, because it's going to calculate how many more miles you can go with the fuel that's in the tank based on that average miles per gallon. And then of course you get in your trip odometers. Now you can zero anything out by reaching over to the set and clear button, holding it. It will go to 0 and beep for you. We'll do the trip 1 also, and it goes to 0. Now we're back to where we were. Now the second menu is vehicle information, and on here you can change your units to metric if you want, if you like to go to Canada or whatever and you want to see metrics. Your remaining oil life. Now your oil life monitor is very important. It's also a money saver. For a lot of us people, we were always trained and ingrained in our head, change your oil every 3 months, 3,000 miles without fail. Don't worry about that. Go by the oil life monitor. This monitor will monitor your oil and tell you of any breakdown. So if you change it by this, they'll reset it when you're in service, and your warranty's just fine. So pay attention to this, because you could get 4,000 to 7,000 miles. This will give you your tire pressure in every one of your tires. So when you get that little warning that says a tire has low pressure, you know which tire to go to. Because it could do it at 3 pounds, and you can't see a 3 pounds different in your tires. So that's going to help you out. That's all that we have on that one. So we go back to the main menu. We leave it right there. Now as we move across, as you see, we have a touch tone screen up here. We'll turn our power on. Now you can use all of these buttons down here too, or you can use the touch. So if we wanted to go home, all we have to do is touch home. Now we can pick it. We know what's playing there. It's the radio. You can go to your phone controls. If you want, you can go back. And then you can go AM, FM, whatever. Check your bands too if you want, and change them right there. It'll always tell the source where everything's coming from. You can even change your radio channels down here if you want to, just by touching the button. Or you can press the buttons that are right beneath the labels. Now when we go to configure the vehicle, which means personalize it to your own, we push the config button and we get a lot of choices. Now again, you can touch the screen if you want, or you can use the selector to turn down. Now you can have 3 languages. You've got English, Spanish, and French if you want to change the language. Date and time, simple, just push the button. It'll come up on the screen and you can change it. Now this clock's just a little bit fast, so if we want to go back, it's 2:50, and all we got to do is just hold it and it will count up for us. It's as simple as that. Now if you go to your date, again, you can set your date. Obviously we are not correct there either, so we want to go up to September, and today happens to be the 9th, and we're all set. All we gotta do is hit OK, and we're done. And again, we can roll down to radio settings, and you can personalize it there for yourself. You can always go back and keep going down. Phone settings, that's where we're going to show you how to pair the Bluetooth phone, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. Display settings, these are different things that you can put on your homepage options up here, your rear camera options, things like that. And then your vehicle settings, there's a number of things to set in here. What locks do you want to lock when you push the button? What ones do you want to unlock when you push the buttons when? How long do you want your headlights to stay on when you get off? Those types of things that we definitely sit down and help you personalize and go through this on the delivery of the vehicle. This is the way the main source will look. Now remember when I told you over here that you're going to rotate through your saved channels. Here's your actual seat buttons. Here's your favorite page where you can change your pages. I don't know if you can see it on the thing, but it'll tell you favorites 3 of 6, 4 of 6, 5 of 6, and then the channels that are saved. Duplicate phone button and a cancel here. Shortcut to your clock here. Info on any radio station you can push here that brings up the numbers. And of course here you can adjust your treble, bass, equalizer, fade and balance, everything from this screen here. Down here is where your CD player is. You drop that in there. In the evening there's a nice cool blue light there so that you can see it. It makes it very easy to get to. Of course these are your temperature controls down here. This vehicle happens to have automatic temperature control, so you can put it on auto. And if you rotate your number, if you notice right here on your screen, the temperature's changing. Okay, so if we take it up, so we want it always to be 70 degrees in our vehicle. We put it there, we leave it on auto. Air conditioning, heat, fans, everything will come on all by itself when we do that. Now this vehicle does have auto start from remote, so you can be up to 200 feet away to start it. And when you do that, you have it on auto, your car is going to heat and cool to that temperature for you automatically. As we come down, these are your heat seat buttons, both on your driver's side, your passenger side, and of course you got 3 levels. And as you push it, you see the lights go on and off. Here, you're going to change where you want the heat or the cold air to go. And you notice anything you push here changes up here. So you don't have to be looking down. You can sit right there and watch exactly what you're setting everything to. Front defrost, rear defrost. In the center button here, these are your emergency flashers. And again, like I said before, the extra door lock controls. This is a nice feature here. If you push it and the light comes on, that's your child locks. Remember the old days, you used to open the door, click a button on each door, or use a key on each door. Then the locks were engaged and you always forgot to take it off. So you lock the adults back there. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You just push the button and you're all set. It shuts it right off. Look down here, you got a center console. Pretty easy. You push the front button on your shifter, pull it back to the gear you want. This also does have your tap shift, your plus and minus. So if you put it in manual, you got a plus and minus button on the side of the shifter. You can shift the gears yourself up through the gears. Eco button here. If you put the eco button on, especially when you're out on the highway, that's going to force that transmission to stay in the lowest gears possible all the time and give you the maximum fuel mileage. This is your traction control button. You press this and you can shut your traction control off. It will come up on your screen that it's off and when you turn it back on. Now, traction control will measure the slip on your drive wheel and apply a brake to limit that slip to give you more traction. So, cup holders. Now if we open our console, and down in here we have a USB port and we have a 3mm prong port down here, plus your 12-volt recharge. You can plug smartphones, you can plug your iPods, anything into the USB, and then use all your radio controls to control it from up here. If you use the 3mm prong, it'll still play through the radio system, but you're going to have to use your own controls. Okay, the only other things is OnStar. We'll finish up on that. This is your hands-free phone With OnStar, your vehicle is its own phone. It will get its own number. All you have to do is keep minutes purchased, and you can use it all the time, and it's hands-free. You push the button, everything's voice activated. The middle button, like we said, the big blue one, you talk to OnStar at any time. This is your emergency button. That's your 911. You can push that anytime you or someone else needs help. Now, it's a little better than using your phone 911, because when you push it and ask for help, they know where you are because of the GPS technology in the vehicle. So they will come and get you. So you tie that with the other safety, your accident notification. If you're in an accident and it's serious enough, and definitely every time the airbag goes off, they're going to call your vehicle. If you don't answer, they're going to send someone to you right away because they know you're in trouble. If the vehicle is stolen, you can call OnStar. They'll ask for your PIN number, of course, identify the vehicle. They'll know where it is. They'll notify local law enforcement to come and pick it up. Okay, that's the basics of everything. Let's go out and take it out on a road test and see how it performs for you.